Hey, what's going on guys? RVZ Stealth here, and in today's video I have episode number 6 of How to Win, and in this episode I'm going to be covering freezing the minion wave and how you do it. So you can only really freeze the lane if you are either ahead in lane or if you have some sort of heal. So the main reason you want to freeze the lane is to deny your enemy CS or to put them at risk for going for CS, and the main spot that you want to freeze the wave is right in front of your tower, where they have to overextend to get CS and they are vulnerable to ganks, but it's still at a spot where you can easily CS at a very safe distance because you're not going to be able to get ganked if you're sitting right in front of your tower. And like I said, this only really works if you're ahead in lane because most of the time you need to tank some minion damage, and in this clip here I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So in this game here, Thresh and myself, we aren't too far ahead of our opponents right now. We are pretty much even, and right here I try to tank the minion wave to keep it in front of my tower, but as you see I take a lot of damage from that, so that basically shows that you can only freeze the wave if you are ahead of your opponents, because if you're ahead of them, then if they come close to you to try and stop you from freezing the wave, then you can fight them because you're ahead of them, and if they try to fight you, then you're just going to be able to win. So it doesn't really work if you're going even in lane with your opponents, because they're just going to be able to do damage to you, as well as the creeps will be doing damage to you while you're trying to freeze it in front of your tower. So it works if you have a lead, but not so much if you don't. So now I am 4-1, and Thresh and I are pretty much in control of this lane, and this is where we start to freeze. So the enemy team cannot come up to our tower to CS, because if they do, we're just going to be able to fight them. So what Thresh is doing right there is he's just tanking the minion damage so that they stay in front of our tower. And now what you want to do is try to get the very last hit on the minion. If you don't do this, then the wave will end up pushing back to the enemy's side and back to where they can eventually get CS. But if you can tank the minion damage and make it so it never reaches your tower, then you're going to be able to freeze the lane in front of your tower here for a very long time, if not forever, or if not for as long as you want. So I make a mistake here and I kill too many of the enemy minions, so eventually this lane will start pushing out so that it will be in a spot where Vayne can CS, but you want to try and keep you want to have more of the enemy minions than you do your minions. So what Vayne did was she pushed the wave. She didn't focus on last hitting. She just kept auto-attacking the minions, and that made it so there were more minions on her side than there were on our side. So if I just got the last hit on every single minion and Thresh tanked the minions so they never reached their tower, then we would be able to freeze the lane for a very long time, and this can ultimately lead to you winning a lot more games, because if your enemy cannot get CS, then they're not going to be able to get items, meaning they're not going to be very useful in team fights. So this is a really good strategy to use to win a lot more games, because you're going to be stronger than your opponent, and that's going to lead to you being stronger in team fights and just being able to carry your team better than your enemy AD carry will. So that's all for the video, guys. If you enjoyed, then be sure to like and subscribe for more League of Legends content, and I will see you in my next video.